Ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce him not as somebody who is the topper, who is a winner of the Physics Olympiad, not as somebody who is a rank holder in an entrance exam, but rather as someone who, although is not the son of the Khans or the Kapoors, is still hitting double centuries at the box office. He is dashing, he is dynamic. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the winner of the Youth Icon 2016. I request you all to give a huge round of applause to welcome Sushant Singh Rajput! Thank you, Sushant. I now request Rahul to please present Sushant with the bouquet. The stage is all yours, Sushant.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That was a lovely introduction. Thank you so much for that. I had this habit of carrying chits in colleges, so... Well, before we get going, I have a confession to make. I became an actor because I had a problem. I was an introvert. You know, I'm the youngest in my family, and I was so pampered in my house that when I used to step out, I didn't know how to deal with people. So I gradually became this very shy, introvert kid who could not talk. Well, I still cannot talk. And I have this stage fright. So in case, so what I do generally as an actor is I hide behind all these fascinating characters, and then I'm confident. But like right now, as I'm not acting, so there are problems that I'll screw it up. So excuse me if I falter, excuse me if I don't make sense, excuse me if I get a panic attack right now, but I'll try my best.
We love you anyway!
Alright, I would love to share my journey with you, my learnings, and in case you decide to drop out and join me in Bollywood, it will come very handy. So, I was thinking in the car, what do I talk about? What can I tell you that you already don't know? I'm assuming, and I think most probably, you guys are way much more smarter and better than what I was when I was your age. You already know about the cutthroat competition. You know the importance of hard work, perseverance, and vision, focus, self-belief, and etc., etc. So I don't need to talk about that. But after deep thinking, I zeroed down into two things that I can actually discuss about. These two things talk about chasing your dreams and actually living your dreams, which unfortunately nobody mentioned to me when I was starting out. And those two things are, can I write down? Can you see the boards? All right. It's a magnet. Wow. always wanted to do this in front of professors, so I just... Sorry for that. So those two things are the biggest lie and the only truth about success that I was told about. Now the biggest lie was money plus recognition is equal to happiness, is equal to success. So let me begin by mentioning that I come from a very middle class family. And when I was growing up, money was a big differentiator in my life. Also in the 3 generations of my family that I know of, that are documented, nobody knew what fame felt like. So basically, both money and recognition were missing when I started out. So I already started out as a failure. Let me be very precise. My family told me that I had to become an engineer. Medicals were booked for my sisters. So once I'm an engineer, then I can, try civil services examination, and then probably, that will be like opening the doors for all kind of happiness, and I'll be forever successful. I'll be forever happy. This is the conditioning that I experienced when I was growing up. All right, fair enough. Good deal. So I became very good in studies. Did fairly well in my 10th board exams. And then off I went to Delhi for my +2, got myself enrolled in a nice school, and Vidyamandir and Fiji and half a dozen of other coaching institutes. And I used to share my room with 3 other similar aspirants. What it meant was, every day after finishing my assignments, school assignments, and preparing for my engineering entrance exam, I had to wash my clothes and I had to cook food for myself. But I wasn't complaining. Well, it was worth it, because after all, I was, for the very first time in my life, I was so close to become successful for the first time in my life. So finally I slogged, I got selected for several engineering colleges, and I decided to take admission in Delhi College of Engineering, which is now known as DTU. Thank you. Were you my senior or junior? So there was a celebration like this in my family too. I could finally stop for a while and breathe, I was telling myself that, you know what? Now you have made it. You should be happy because you're supposed to be happy. But it wasn't working that much. Something was missing. There was a void that I could feel. So I thought maybe something bigger was required. For some reason, incessantly, while the first 18, 19 years of my life, the future me was much happier, much successful than the present me. So I was like, all right, fine. So I was forcing myself. I promised, I started preparing for civil services examination, and I was forcing myself to slog, but I was bored. UPSC exams were still far away. In the meantime, I thought of doing theatre, and I thought to learn dance, because to counter the shyness that I still have, and also because there were no girls in my engineering college for some reason. I felt cheated, man. You slog so much, you crack the entrance exam, and you find that there are no girls. So somebody told me that there are very good-looking girls in dance schools. So I was like, fine, I'll go there. And once I started with performing arts, I knew one thing for sure. I knew that I quite liked it. And 3 years later, imagine me sitting in the campus, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm really interested in performing arts. And all I want to do is to earn money and to be recognized. So if I become a movie star, I actually was very serious, and I dropped out of my college in the 3rd year, when I was just 2 semesters away from getting the degree, engineering degree. Came to Mumbai, got heavily into theatre and also other skills that I thought were necessary to become an actor. And by the way, this time I stayed with 6 other guys in a single room kitchen. But this time I was prepared for it. This time there was one difference. I was driven. My self-respect was at stake. My ex-college mates, one of them is sitting right here in black shirt, they thought that I was that disaster that folks in engineering and B schools should never become. So I had to prove a point to everybody. I had to prove a point to my family. Most importantly, I had to prove a point to myself. And this was the time when I was also a background dancer. So I was dancing behind all the possible stars that you can think of, Shah Rukh Khan, Shahid Kapoor, everybody. And I was thinking to myself while I was performing, okay, it's just 3 steps away, there I have to get. And everything will be sorted. And I kept going like that. And 2 years later, guess what? I got myself my first big break. I was selected for a primetime show on a TV. Now hear me out, it was seriously a big break because I started earning. People started recognizing me. To be honest, I would deliberately go and roam in all these malls so that people could look at me, smile, ask for my photograph. And I was watching myself on TV for the first time. You have no idea how it feels for somebody like me to, I was looking at me and I was looking at myself every day on TV. It was a big, big, big high. I also suddenly discovered that I actually had many friends. I'm like, who were absent all this while, but suddenly they popped up. And the show became popular. I was making good money to a point that money stopped being a differentiator in my life. And I was becoming more and more popular. Now I cannot go to all those malls that I was going all alone. So I wanted somebody to be with me, to save me. So you know what I'm saying? I bought myself my first dream house. I bought myself my dream car. And just a note to you as well. I was getting such female attention that my engineering college friends could only possibly dream of. So I was having a time of my life. And then something unusual happened. I got used to everything. And I felt cheated. I stayed with all these dreams for 10 and 15 years of my life. I was promised happiness and I was promised success. But all these things stayed with me just for a few days. And I'm punctuating me because I started from 0 money and 0 recognition. So I was not happy. How can that be? I didn't like this version of success. And the future me again was luring the present me. But this time, I decided otherwise. I would do something else. So that gets us to the second point, which is the only truth. I won't take too much time, I'll just try to keep it short. I figured something. I figured that something, seemingly big things, were not that big once I got them. And looking back in the past, I realized that maybe smaller things were way bigger. And there was one thing that was missing in my life that was the cause of this illusion. And that thing that was missing was now. I was, all these years, I was obsessed about what's gonna happen. I used to draw those flowcharts that we are taught in schools. that if this happens, I'll do that, and 6 months from now, I'll be here. So I wanted to be in control. I was so obsessed about my future. I was taking the entire responsibility about the past, but all I was doing was frequently swinging from past to future, not living in actual sense. Well, I also figured that when I perform on stage or in front of camera, I'm so much excited. I am so much interested. I was paying so much attention that there was no room to think about future or the past. I was just there, in the moment. I was alive in true sense when I was performing. And for the first time, trust me, in a long time, I understood the true meaning of success, which was not money plus recognition, but it was now plus excitement. This realization happened in 2011, and it has been 5 years. Now let me share another very short story with you. When I was in school, 4 to 5:30 p.m. was the time when I was allowed to go out and play. I was asked to be an engineer, but the entire day I used to wait for 4 p.m. to happen. I would step out, and the next 1.5 hours felt like 5 minutes. I didn't understand this then, but now very honestly, very confidently, I can tell you this, that I'm living that 4 to 5:30 life right now since last 5 years. Cause and effects are not different. Excitement is the cause, excitement is the effect. I get tired again and again because all these success mantras that we talk about, hard work, belief, focus, vision, risk-taking, talent, perseverance, we can go on and on. But all these success mantras are now the side effects of the process itself. I'm so engaged, it commands my attention so much that there's nothing else that I can think about. So hard work doesn't feels like hard work. And there's nothing else that you can do but to persist. Talent you will cultivate. Vision you will get. Focus, there is no other way because it's commanding your attention so much. So here I am right now, 5 years down the line. Money and fame, although still could not earn back their reputation in my life. But let me show you one thing. I have much more of them than I had ever planned. And the best thing, my college, one of the professors who is very dear to me called me recently about asking me to plan this interaction with students, and I very humbly requested that can I get my degree back. and it's happening, and I'm very excited again. Thank you so much, guys.
Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you will never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and took off his hat, and the first thing he knew, he had begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, with a lift without any doubting or quitting, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it.
That probably sums up Sushant's story so far. Sushant, thank you so much for your inspirational words. And we'll now open the stage for some Q&A.
Sure.
So, audience questions, please.
Tell us about your ragging in college.
Is it a real question now? Please stand up. Yeah.
What was your ragging in college? आपकी क्या ragging हुई?
क्या किया था तुमने?
I asked him to dance.
He asked me to dance, and for some reason he gave me a second prize. Who did you give the first prize to? Very bad vision, let me say.
Sushant, how does it feel to be MS Dhoni?
Well, in my first film, I played this character who was a failed cricketer. And he was, although I love him, but still, unfortunately, he was this district level cricketer and a failed cricketer. And in 2 years, I became the captain of Indian cricket team.
आपको डिग्री कैसे मिल रही है? आपको डिग्री कैसे मिल रही है अभी? आपने बोला ना
डिग्री कैसे मिल रही है? मैं जो हमारा फेस्ट होता है उसमें फ्री में डांस कर रहा हूँ.
Did you think of taking your degree first and then go for acting?
No, actually, that's what I was talking about. Once you find that thing in your life that gets you so excited that you cannot think about anything else, then wasting another year was a most stupidest thing that I could have done. I just dropped out.
अगर आप सक्सेसफुल एक्टर नहीं होते तो आप क्या होते हैं? नहीं
अगर सक्सेसफुल एक्टर नहीं होता तो मैं अनसक्सेसफुल इंजीनियर होता. आपको आंसर अच्छा नहीं लगा क्या?
कॉलेज से ड्रॉप आउट होने के बाद में अगर स्ट्रगल पीरियड में आपका स्ट्रगल फेल हो जाता तो आप क्या करते?
हमारे आई थिंक अभी तक इट्स वैलिड. वी हैव 7 years to complete 8 semesters. तो मैं तो तीसरे साल में आया था. मेरे पास 4 साल और थे 2 सेमेस्टर कंप्लीट करने के लिए. थैंकफुली इतना टाइम नहीं लगा.
Hi Sushant, what has been your toughest decision in life to date?
I think the first decision of dropping out of the college, because in my family everybody is a doctor, IAS officer or something like that. I'm the youngest one. I was going in the slog over, so I was supposed to make it big, and I did. I was right there. I was getting scholarship from top MBA schools, but somehow I backed myself up and I dropped
What
out.
do you think that made you do this? Like being a MBA student in life, you always have to take decisions for the company, and it will be like you are through it or you are not through it, and it was the same situation for you. So what do you think made you do that?
To prefer what I want to do over what I'm supposed to do.
That's very good answer.
Sushant, just a note, she's also winner of the fan contest that was run in the build-up to the event.
Wow, can I shake your hand?
It's really appreciating.
I used to watch that.
Even I watch.
So right now my engineering college. Oh, sorry, what? I missed it.
बॉम्बे में आने का मौका मिलेगा?
मैंने कुछ 7-8 साल सोचा था कि मुझे आने का मौका मिलेगा, लेकिन मुझे नंबर्स ने कभी मौका ही नहीं दिया यहाँ आने का. I wanted to be here, but I just couldn't make it. So yeah, I'm very honored to be here right now and answering your questions. स्टेज पे आना है? किसी वालों को स्टेज पे आने का बड़ा शौक है. भी कर दो। ऐसे सारे स्टेज पे सेम स्कूल हो तुम एक्टर बनना चाहते हो? थैंक्स। ये सारे मेरे जूनियर्स हो? Thank you so much.
How did your family react when you dropped out?
When I dropped out, yeah, they were in a state of shock. They couldn't say anything, and I took the opportunity and I took the next flight.
Are you thinking to join Indian team?
What team? Indian team? What team?
Cricket team.
Achha, Indian cricket team. There are only 11 players, I guess. So the 11 players are playing right now.
You can replace one.
I want to replace one. That's what you're asking? No. I got injured so many times while I was training for MS Dhoni. Trust me, I would never become a cricketer in my life.
How was that transition different from the previous transitions from basically dropping out of music to acting? Was it tougher? How was it different?
No, it was not tougher. It's a very great question that you asked, and I think we make logic of everything only when we look backwards. It doesn't help us when we are looking forwards. You know what I mean? So if you have a different point of view, you would think that dropping out of the engineering college in third year, then quitting TV when I was at my peak, were like very strange decisions. But they were not. Because I don't see theatre to TV to films. I also dwelled in theatre for 5 years. So I don't see theatre to TV to films as an organic progression. I act, and I do it not to prove a point to anybody. I do it because of this equation I have with the work that I do. You put a TV camera in front of me, you put a film camera in front of me, you put a live audience in front of me, I'll do the same.
Just another note, Sushant, she was placed second in the contest.
All right.
Hello?
This is what you get when you make it big.
Hello? Hello, Sushant? Here. Okay.
ये क्या GD नहीं हो रहा है एक
Hi Shushant.
Hi.
I'm really very big fan of yours, and I'm watching you since you are playing Preet and on the TV. Preet and Manav. So I just want to ask, how does it feel for you from being Preet and Manav to MS Dhoni?
How does it feel? So the reason of doing it and the excitement itself, they have never changed. Only my bank balance has changed for sure.
Yeah, that's what you said when someone asked you how does it feel to be Manav or Danav, and you answered becoming a Danav is like you will get more money.
Are you a stalker?
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
सर आपने कहा कि you live the moment, you enjoy what you do, you are always excited. तो बेसिकली सर आपका जो सक्सेस के लिए यही रिक्वायर्ड है आपको, एक्साइटमेंट. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि सर आपको कभी ये चीज़ ड्राइव करता है सक्सेस के लिए कि एक दिन मैं भी बहुत बड़ा स्टार बनूंगा, मेरे भी बड़े बड़े पोस्टर लगेंगे?
मैंने यही तो आपसे कहा कि जब मैंने शुरू किया था तो मुझे यही लगता था कि ऐसा होगा तो कुछ होगा, लेकिन जब हुआ तो कुछ नहीं हुआ. आप बड़े जल्दी यूज्ड हो जाते हैं किसी भी सिचुएशन के. तो अगर आप सिर्फ पॉइंट प्रूव करना चाहते हैं लोगों को कि देखो आई हैव अराइव्ड, आई एम सक्सेसफुल, तो आप ये करते रहेंगे. जैसे वो कहावत है ना कि even if at the end of the day if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. तो आप वही करते रहेंगे जिंदगी भर. ऐसा कोई अंत नहीं. लेकिन अगर आप excited हैं, you're just not concerned about what's going to happen. Let me assure you that you'll still be very successful if that's what concerns you. But it doesn't matter to you.
Hello? Hello, Sushant. To be really honest, when we first time heard that Sushant is going to play MS Dhoni, तो हम बात कर रहे थे यार कर पाएगा ये? So no doubt about your
मेरे मोहल्ले वाले आज तक ये सोच रहे हैं कि इंजीनियरिंग कर पाएगा ये?
You did it brilliantly. But यही क्वेश्चन आपको आया था कि देखो MS धोनी एक अलाइव कैरेक्टर है जो ऑलरेडी फेमस है, बहुत सारे फैन है. एक अलग कैरेक्टर परफॉर्म करना जो नहीं है और जो एक कैरेक्टर है अभी जो ऑल इंडिया फेमस, ऑल वर्ल्ड फेमस है, तो हाउ डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज दैट ब्रिज फॉर यू. सो आपने भी ऐसे सोचा था कि कर पाऊंगा मैं या फिर?
यार वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. आई थिंक देयर इज अ पैटर्न टू ऑल द आंसर्स दैट आई एम गिविंग राइट नाउ. आई थिंक वी शुड बी लिसनिंग वेरी केयरफुली because all I'm saying is you are fidgety only when you're concerned about what people are going to think. You are there in the future. That's what I'm talking about. I am not there in the future. I'm my film, like my last film which I did, Vyomkesh Bakshi, didn't turn out to be a blockbuster. It barely managed to break even. But I slogged. Thank you so much. I slogged. I'm like equally in Vyomkesh too. And right now when I look back, I'm equally proud of Vyomkesh as Dhoni. So it doesn't matter to me what people would think. All that matters is my equation of my work. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
John, I will be third in the fan contest. Do you think I can get a handshake?
Handshake?
Yes.
You won't get a hug, but you can come in. Handshake we can do like.
Thanks a lot. No, Manu plays third. I'm just kidding. I'm a really big fan.
Forget about management. You can be an actor.
Yeah, we should have a meet and greet. So everyone gets to check it out.
Her treat. What?
A meet and greet.
Are we done with the questions? Because then.
What advice would you like to give to the actors here in IIT Bombay?
Yeah, well, if you don't know, this place where you were just sitting, this is the theatre of IIT Bombay. Like every acting and everything happens over here. Right?
Oh, that's so cool. Wow. So, what is the question? Sorry.
What would you say to the actors who perform theatre in IIT Bombay? What advice would you like to give them?
Just know the why of what you do, and that why could be anything. Like I have friends who are actors. They just want to be famous. Fine. Or they just want to be rich. Fine. So no why is wrong. Every why is right. But as long as you know it, you're aware of it, and you're honest to it. That's it.
Hi, Sushant.
Rhymed. Yeah. Sorry.
Hello. Hi, Sushant. I'm here. Actually, enough of, I think, formal questions are so much. Can we have a bit of dance from you on the song Gulabi?
I've stopped dancing. It's so hard since, as I said, I was a background dancer, and I picked up a very bad habit of dancing only when I'm paid. So, I'm so sorry I disappoint you, but I'm not actually ready for it right now.
Can you reenact the scene from MS Dhoni?
Yes.
Where's this voice coming from? Sorry.
From MS Dhoni, where you say you kind of live stuff you said to the tears, which you said in the station.
Acha, do you want me to say some line?
Yeah, you like
Kharagpur station dialogue.
I like saying my mother's dialogue, which also worked for me before the time she actually became my mother in the film. But she says something like, "हमको लगता है कि ये इतने वैसे मानने वाला नहीं है."
Guys, I apologize, but that was the last request. I'm sorry.
Hey, please, last one. Hello.
One last question, please.
Hello. That's me, I guess. Hello.
Trust me if I.
Sushant, please.
Where are you?
I'm here. The guy with the tall guy.
Alright, I can hear you. Just say.
See, truth be told, I just think you're a cool person, but my girlfriend really loves you. Please, for her sake, can I have your autograph, please?
Of course you can. You are sure you have a girlfriend, right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, guys.